Okay, so we've done quite a bit on lower body, so we're just going to break it up now with some upper body mobilisations. This is where the tennis balls can come in handy. You don't have to use them, you can do them without it. I just find having a little bit of feedback in your hand helps. And what we'll do later on is we'll learn how to do this using like dumbbells and stuff as well, or maybe just some little weight plates can work in the place, but I'll probably do it with dumbbells. So we've got the tennis balls, and the first thing I want you to do, I'll stand a bit closer, is I'm going to start twisting like that. Now you'll notice as I do it, see how my chest's moving there as well, and I want to build that up. You see how I'm going to the back there as well, and I'm getting that movement. So I'm not just moving my arms or my shoulders, because your shoulder is a complex joint. It's designed, you know, it's evolved to throw stuff, right? And for a lot of people, the thought of doing that and throwing a lot of force into it, it's quite daunting. It certainly was for me. So when I was at like my strongest in terms of like benching and overhead pressing, my shoulder mobility sucked because I only had strength here and here. So like I explained with the hip, it's a very mobile joint. This is the most mobile joint, and it has all this potential here. So we need to start nourishing that neurology, developing our capacity to control the shoulder through those ranges. Also, it's really complex, but it's not. It's just about reawakening what's already there. Now, if you're injured, you've had surgery, etc., and you're unsure, please be very careful, but also if you need to, reach out. I'm more than happy to do something tailored to you. You know, I can do consultations online, we can do them in person, and I can give you some stuff that might be a bit more specific to you. However, I'm going to try and make these as simple as possible and show you how to create that space yourself without having to rely on someone like me. Now, I'm doing that, yeah? So that's the first thing. And I'm just getting that movement. So I'm using these balls in my hand, and I'm going to start moving. I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep going, and I'm just spinning and twisting, and I'm going up, and then I'm going to go back down. And I might just do a few of them, take it around the back. I'm just getting everything moving. I'm just starting to ungunk this, and I can do it with single arms as well. So I can just twist here, gradually bring it up, twist, 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 twist. Now for me, that's quite difficult. Starts to feel quite tight there, and I can go back there, and I can start to go round and round there. So that's like our starting point. Again, do both arms, you can do single arms, whatever. Once we've done that, what we can then do is I want you to think about squeezing your shoulder blades together. So I'm bringing them arms back there, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. So I'm pulling them back, and then from there, I'm going to gradually bring them up and together. Now you might only want to get to like that might be enough for now, that's fine. You can go back down to there and you can work here. But really think about squeezing those shoulder blades together. Once I'm feeling okay with it, I can bring it up and then I can bring it down and like that. And what I do there, so see I'm like that, and I twist up and then I come back down, twist like that. I want to do a few of them. Do 5, do 10. If it feels good, you just keep going with it. You're going to start to, again, ungunk this joint, get it moving. And it's dead good for your elbows and stuff as well, and your wrists, because everything's moving. Because that's, so one of the things, I keep saying this, but tension is the enemy. And that's what you see. People who have like elbow issues, all this tissue is tight, all this like triceps and muscles, they're tight, they're restricted, and then tendons are getting irritated, and the body is not effectively distributing that load across the system, because that's how things should work. As we do a movement, as we put force through this body, the whole body works together to absorb it and rechannel it into something else. You know, think of like a golf swing, boom, absorb and release. I don't actually play golf, but I'm assuming that's how it works. I know it's a bat, you know, anyway, but it's about everything working together, and it's about getting everything to move. And by having this little feedback, again, further on we will do this with dumbbells and stuff like that, and really start to develop the strength. But that's our first one. So again, we're here, I get that retraction, and I'm up. Like I said, to put a bit of pace into it, really reach with it. I'm going to get all that shoulder moving and feeling good. If that feels okay, what I then want you to start doing is just up, down, up, down. So as I do that, see how I twist like that. So I come up, and I twist back, up, twist, up, twist, up, twist. I can't alternate it, so I can go bum, 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 bum. I'm just starting to get hot. It's not just You know, the shoulder, it's like this bit of meat here, so think like a line drawn around here and round the back, and that's kind of like your shoulder complex, if you will. You know, that's it. But it's not just about that, it's about your thoracic too. It's about your whole spine, it's about your hips, but everything moving together. And these are just great little drills just to get everything twisting and turning and moving that little bit. So that's our next one. So again, we start off a little bit of that, moving round, then we start to add this one into it, then we can start to add some of these into it, then we can start to alternate, and we're just starting to get everything nice and loose. I'm not going to say sets or reps with this. I just want you to do like 20 seconds, 30 seconds of each one. It'll feel good. If you want a set of reps person, do 10. You know, if that feels good, do 10. But I want you to just do it. Because what you'll find as well, like now, I've done them. I can already feel it in my shoulders. Because you're starting to visit ranges and places that you don't always visit. Start to add load to this, it gets even more challenging. But this is the basic stuff, yeah? So we get that twist, that movement. We get that movement going. We get these going, and we start to loosen everything up, and we start to develop this map. You know, we start to develop our ability to control this tissue, this arm, this shoulder, in multiple ranges, and you know, rather than just here and here. That's the aim of it. Now, if that feels okay, what we're then going to start to do, now we can start this with single arm, yeah? So we're going to swing like that. So I'm like back and forth, back and forth. Once it feels good, I'm going to go all the way over. And I can go like that nice and slow, and then add a fast one in. So first off, again, if you're injured, you're in pain, don't start advanced. Nice, simple. But you notice how my hips moving and my body's moving as well. I'm not just trying to go like this, you know, because there's so much of this in training, isn't there? There's so much of like, you'll notice. I'll share this with you while we're doing it. I like to go on that side because, so if you look at this tricep here, see I've got that bit there, right? On this one, you'll notice I haven't. So this arm's a lot smaller than that one because I tore this when I was younger, right? So despite that, I've been able to do loads of cool stuff. I've been able to bench a lot, I've been able to overhead press a lot, I've been able to throw javelin. I used to throw with this arm. So in spite of having one of my tricep heads missing, you know, completely torn, I've been able to develop a shoulder that works pretty damn well and an arm that works pretty damn well. You know, I have no issues when I go Ninja Warrior, etc, etc. But that's, if you notice me turning to this side, is the vanity in me. Just because I know this arm looks a lot better, fills my sleeve a lot better. Anyway, so like I said, we just start off, we have that swing, yeah? So we start to get that going. Then, once we feel more confident with that, we go all the way around. Now don't start that fast, just start nice and gentle and up. And you can just do a few of them, just good old fashioned arm circles, yeah? But once we feel confident with it, let's throw a fast one in. Then we can have a slow one, a couple of slow, and then a fast, slow, fast. I wouldn't do too many of them, it's quite explosive, 5 at the most, yeah, and then have a minute or switch arms. If you're feeling really confident, well, we can start to do both at the same time. Swing, boom, and gentle, boom, gentle, boom. But this, and it doesn't have to be that fast, it could just be boom, 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 and that's it, right? But I want you to get to the point where you feel good putting some force into it, putting some welly into it, because that's what this shoulder's meant to do. The reason we are the dominant species on this planet is because we developed a shoulder that can launch stuff really fast, it can absorb and release force really effectively. But as I keep saying, it's not just about one single thing, it's about everything working together, this thoracic working, you know, the whole spine working, the hips working, you know, it's all part of it. You know, a good throw, so just give you a window into javelin throwing, this is the throwing position, that leg's locked, and it's about me transferring that force through that chain. I really struggle with it still because I've still got a lot of excess tension up here from all the benching, squatting and deading I did. But it's getting better, and these are the movements that I've used to get it better. And they're all from throwing athletes. That's where I discovered all these. They weren't in, you know, Squat University, they weren't in the McGill stuff, they weren't in the, like, you know, the rehab stuff I was taught at uni, or the stuff I learned as a PT, or the fucking hundreds of drills I've worked my way through with bands and stuff. Do what throwers were doing, and I thought, well, it's working for them, let's try it. And I did, I don't know, a month of this stuff, and my shoulders felt the best they've ever felt. And everyone who I give them to report the same thing. Posture improves and everything. It's dead interesting because what happens is it closes down you. We get this, you know, that rounding. Everything gets tight and tense, and it starts to limit our ability to move it. So we compensate. So to achieve an overhead range of motion, we might borrow it from our spine. We might just we can't work our way through it, but we start to irritate stuff, and that's why we get loads of tendon issues in the shoulder, because this is like a junction box here, just like this is, like any bony bits in your body, it's where stuff attaches to, and they start to get irritated because the load isn't being evenly distributed across the system. The mechanics are off, and that's causing irritation. It might not manifest at first, but believe me, it will catch up to you. So as I keep saying, this is about restoring your ability to move. It's about giving you your God-given natural abilities back. So, to recap, that bit of twisting, that's our first one. We're just mapping the territory, yeah? And even there, so as I'm doing that one, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, and that's creating that space, as I go through it, as I'm twisting, as I'm turning. It's creating that space, yeah? So I'm getting good at retracting. I'm getting good at because when I do that, when I retract, the shoulder can move a lot better. So it's about developing that ability to do that. So we start to enhance that connection between this and these muscles here. We start to activate them, and we start to learn how to do it. We then can develop that into a bit more welly, a bit more force, a bit more movement. We start to add these into it, and then we start to get that twist, yeah? And your shoulders that feel nice and loosey-goosey, and you feel confident in them and your ability to use them. So that's just our little breakup thing. Don't spend loads of time on it, but if you are someone who's got tight shoulders, bad posture, whatever, you can do these as often as you want. They're not that demanding. We're using tennis balls here. Again, further on the system, I'm going to show you how to do this with dumbbells, and then your shoulders are going to feel really good as you get strong with them. As you start to do this with a dumbbell, or even a weight plate, or even a bag for life with a tin of beans in, right? You're going to start to feel really good, and your shoulders are going to start to feel really good, and you're going to have confidence in them. So that's just a little, intermission to start to get this upper body going. Now we're going to start to put things together, yeah? We're going to start to stress this whole body a little bit more. We're going to start to integrate movements, and that's going to build into an actual workout, yeah? And a few little circuits that I'm going to give you.